Hello everyone. Am I audible? Can anybody confirm on the chat, please? Yeah? Okay. Well then. Good evening everyone. So how are you all doing? Okay. Fine then. So how many of you have knowledge about JavaScript? First question. Obviously everybody will be having knowledge, but this session is overall for the people who really doesn't know what is JavaScript, and let's learn some basics. People who already know have it as a revision. So let's quickly see what are the different basics we can learn in this JavaScript today in this session, right? So hope things are clear. Let's get started. Right. Okay, I'll not really take too much of coding session, or I'll just mess your ideas up with lots of codes and stuff. Okay, we'll just keep it very simple. First, let's understand what is this about, right? So let's quickly start with the Yeah, let's quickly start. I'll just see the chat every now and then. I could, any questions, any queries, I'll just answer from there. So let's start with the session here. Today, I'll be teaching you first thing, anything which you try to learn, right? You have to have one question in your mind why you have to learn. Either it might be a JavaScript, it might be anything for the matter, right? So next we'll learn what is JavaScript. So after that, where to code, where do you put up your JavaScript, and where to use, why we shall learn that. After that, we'll be seeing how to display output. Every time we have to think when we are coding, right, where we have to display the output. What is the requirement? What is our end requirement? We have to have plan of it. So what are the different types you can put up your particular JavaScript output into, right? So then I'll give you a very simple demo with pure JavaScript. There is mixture that you can also include JavaScript in HTML, CSS and stuff. I'll show that as well. Plus one simple program which is very well known. When you see it, you will get to know. I have not named the program, but still you will guess what it is. So we'll have it in pure JavaScript without any HTML or CSS. It's very simple session for today. So hope this is clear. So let's get started. Uh, okay, Pratap, this session is generally for about 45 minutes and 15 minutes for Q&A session. That's it. Any questions you have to ask me, anything, any doubts you have, so you can ask at the last. So hope this is clear, right? Okay, let's quickly start. The first thing, why to learn JavaScript? Any answers on the chat for me, please? Why you have to learn JavaScript? Obviously, guys, in 1 hour, entire part of the JavaScript cannot be taught. It is a ocean actually. I'm giving you basics, right? Yeah. So answer the question, why to learn JavaScript? What is the real necessity for you to learn JavaScript? Waiting for the answers on the chat, please. Okay, I got few answers. So one is like it is used in backend programming. Okay, next, for motion on web page, right? Dynamic typed language, right? Okay. Okay, every browser understands script. Okay, guys, okay. So, there are different answers given in the chat. Appreciated for your answers. I'll tell you why to learn JavaScript in general. So, what does JavaScript will do? Specifically, point number one, JavaScript will let your web page be interactive, be live, be it will be very much active, like having different transition for the matter, having different kinds of operations in the client side. Okay, at your end, client in the sense the user who they are using the web pages, especially I'm talking about the web pages, guys, here, right? So the HTML CSS built web page using JavaScript. So at your end, I'll give you one simple example, right? If you are trying to log in, for example, using username and password, so when you type something wrong in the username or in the password, it will give you a pop-up message, or it will give you a error message, your password is wrong or your username is wrong. How? One simple task it will take. It will go to the server, fetch the details already existing. If it is any, it is not matching, right, it will throw up an error. If it is matching, it will let you log in. So this is one process. I'm talking about if you're filling a form, right? It is having different fields in a form. So what you'll do, you will always try to fill up example name, phone number, anything, right? In place of phone number, you are typing your age. What is the number of phone numbers you have? 10 digits you have. What is your age? 2 digits. So validation means letting the boxes, letting the form having a valid data, right? Who will check that? In case you are typing your age instead of phone number, if the form accepts, it is a wrong development, it is not a proper form. Validation at the client side is done using JavaScript, right? So these are the few different uses you have for JavaScript. So let's quickly see. Right, interactive website, client side program, right, everybody are right. The answers are correct on the chat. So let's quickly see now. So the first thing, we use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We have a trio, we have a combination, right? Anytime everybody will be speaking about these three concepts or these three domains, these three subjects. So, HTML generally, why do we use? The first thing we use here is in order to create the content of the website. The content, the sentences, the things, whatever you read on the website, right? Everything will be dealt with the help of the HTML. Okay, with the CSS, say for example, if your textbook is without pictures, without having anything, right, it is not having colors, it is not having any types of different diagrams or anything, just white and black or black and white sheet, will you feel good to see? Obviously no, people will get bored of seeing black and white images, right? Or black and white pages. Only a white page having black ink is very difficult to, it is not attractive. So we have CSS in order to have the different layouts, different colors, different font styles, different kinds of styling which you can make for your HTML page. Say for example, this is your HTML page. I'm not writing. These are the content. It is having sentences. This is created with the help of the HTML concept. And it should be in center only. It should be aligned. It should be justified. It should be having font size called Arial. It should be having font 20. I mean font type called Arial. Font size which should be 20. All these kinds of alignments will be done with the help of CSS. We are cascading the style sheets, right? And here comes today's concept, that is JavaScript. What is the use of it? As we all know, yeah, as we all know that it is used in order to make the web pages behave, in order to program the web pages. Say for example, in an application you have three different pages. Okay, first step you have to follow is you have to log in. Okay, second page, you have after login you have a dashboard. Okay, in dashboard you have so many menus. Say for example, you have to go to your images menu. Okay, so how is the procedure generally? If you want to understand, you can understand like login. After login, it will show a screen, which is a dashboard screen. There I have to select one menu. You know that. But how does the web page know? It has to go from login. If it is right, it has to go to dashboard. In dashboard, if anything the user selects, it has to be displayed. Over 20-30 menus, you are taking images. It has to go to images page again. Who will make these things travel? Yeah, we travel by using connectivity of JavaScript. This is one simple example, right? You can have the connectivity between the web pages. You can create any transitions. You can create any kinds of slides. We say, for example, carousels of images, slideshow of images. You can say, for example, you are creating a page here, right? People who don't know what is carousel of images, I'm just trying to explain that. Here you have images slide, right? You have 20 images. Say, for example, you have your property, want to display the different types of pictures, like for example, living room, drawing room, kitchen, something you want to display all those images of your property so that people can buy on your website. So the first image will be living room, second image will be drawing room, third image will be kitchen. So it will be sliding one after the other after few seconds, accordingly whatever you set, right, the timing, accordingly 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds each. So it will be sliding. These kinds of transitions or operations or making your web pages live, you can do it by using JavaScript, right? So this is why you have to learn JavaScript, including HTML, CSS, in order to make it live, good looking, and having good transitions inside your web pages. Hope this is clear. Right, any questions? I'm just looking at the chat, guys, that's it. Okay, okay, somebody has asked me, Gurinder Singh has asked me, Bootstrap, why do you use? Okay, people, why do you use Bootstrap? In order to create a proper sized reposition template. Say, for example, any website, you take our Great Learning website itself, right? When you open our website on the desktop, on the laptop or the desktop screen, which is wider, it is having one dimension, say here, okay, one dimension. Your mobile dimension is something like this, okay, your tablet is something like this. Say, why do you use Bootstrap here is the same coding which you make for desktop should be feasible if you open in the mobile phone also, if you open the same website on the tablet also. So Bootstrap will always help you in order to have this particular reposition and exact size in whatever the device you open, right? So this is the use of the Bootstrap, right? Hope this is clear, Gurinder. Fine. Okay. Let's quickly hop on to the next. This is done, I believe, for why do you have to learn JavaScript? What is the importance of it in order to make your web pages lively, right? You have to use JavaScript and learn about it. So next, after learning why, we have to know what it is. So exactly what it is, why it is used, already half of the things I've discussed, but still I'm letting you know, guys. Um, what is JavaScript? The first thing, it is a scripting language. When it says it is a scripting language, one thing you have to keep in your mind, it also has variables. Again, it also has constants. It also has looping statements. It also has the switch case, I mean overall control statements, right? It also has the functions and the events. I mean to say, whatever the languages you learn, C, C++, Python, any programming language, whatever the concepts you have almost, not talking everything, guys. Almost the basic concepts is there in JavaScript as well, right? You can create a variable, you can take input from the user, you can display output for the user. So you have every possible way, every option, just like other coding languages in order to communicate, right? It is one of the scripting language. It is having certain um, inputs and outputs. You can try to give, take, and make it work. Functions and events can also occur, right? So let's see what is that particular C or C++ concepts we can follow generally with a simple code at the last of this session, right? I've just kept it very simple, so you will know what is that code all about. If you see, if you have a programming language hint, you can easily guess it. So let's quickly see the next thing. As everybody have communicated till now, creating dynamically updated website. So any website you want to create, you can use JavaScript in order to make it interactive, in order to make it dynamic, in order to make it lively. It's not lively, right? So the next one, it controls multimedia. So I already told you it is used in order to put up images, in order to put up the slide presentations, in order to put up any audio integration, any video integration. Multimedia is nothing but all these elements: images, audio, video, everything comes under multimedia. So all these things we use JavaScript. So that will always define the JavaScript, right? I'm just looking at the chat now. Okay. When you are a beginner, what language should you start? Which is best? Okay, guys. I'll tell you if this is the question. People who are oriented towards designing, who can play with colors, who can make certain imaginations come true, right? Whatever you jot it on the paper, make it live on the computer. If you are into those kinds of thoughts, and if you don't want to code continuously code, I'm not telling developers are bad, guys. Backend developers are bad. I'm letting you just explore your mind, right? You'll be in confusion what to do, how to learn and stuff. If you are that person who is creative enough, who can create certain elements which is put up on the paper onto the system, live, visible to everybody, you can go with web development or front end development. Okay, so if you choose this, you have to learn HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, Angular. So there are too many elements which you can learn. So basic for a developer, you have to start with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Hope that answered your question. Okay, since Python can also be used for client-side programming, does JS has some additional advantage when compared to Python? Okay, this can be answered, but generally, I'm telling you, you can do both the ways. If you choose to learn C or C++, it's left to you. So it's upon the requirement, how much you need, what is the requirement you are serving, right? That is the one thing. But I tell you, they already have made it as all the trio combination: HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So wherever people will talk about HTML, CSS, JavaScript will come into picture. Obviously, yes, JavaScript has different kinds of libraries in it. So already available JavaScript is also present. So it will make the programmer work easier in order to just take the external link and you can just add it to your website which you are creating. So until unless it is not copyrighted, right, you can use those JavaScripts also. Yeah. Okay, somebody is asking what is dynamic, ma'am. Okay, there are two different English words. Yeah. Sudarshan is asking what is dynamic and what is static. I'll tell you, then you will know what is dynamic. So there are two English words, guys: static and dynamic, right? So static means which is not having any functionalities. You just open the link, you will get scripted paper. You can just read the content out of it. But dynamic in the sense, if you click on something, some menu, it will open. Say you have seen this three lines, right? Burger icon we call it as. So three lines. If you click on that, you will get certain menu. That transition, that kind of operations, who will do? The JavaScript will do. So that is why we call it as dynamic, which is having certain transitions, which is making certain um, designs or programming. With the help of the programming, we are making certain slides and stuff, right? So which is what do you say, which is colorful for your eyes, which is attractive. If you open that website, if you get good animations, good slides, or good transition, obviously people will go to that website again and again, right? So that is the difference between static and dynamic. It is not performing any operations. In dynamic, you have certain operations which you can see, which you can do it by yourself. Okay, right. uh Ma'am, which topic is very important in JavaScript? Okay, Prashik, it is JavaScript itself is important. You have to learn. There is no concepts here. It's just like C and C++. It goes with start, introduction, syntax, variables, functions, events, control statements. You have to just learn it. The only thing it differs is how you write it, right? Just like the syntaxes. Syntaxes of Python is different than syntaxes of C, right? So likewise, JavaScript has its own type of writing, the same operation. I'll show you that. So coming up next, what else JavaScript can do? Apart from doing all these scripting, client-side scripting or dynamic website or controlling multimedia, what else JavaScript can do? With the help of HTML and CSS. HTML and CSS, I told you, one is to manage the content, another one is to style, right? So the first thing it can do is it can change the HTML content. It's not only you going and changing something manually, you can program it in such a way that it can change the content whenever it is necessary. The next, you can change the style. You need not go to CSS only to change the style. You can just link your CSS sheet link and you can change whatever you want to change in this programming part as well. But usually people don't do this because it is very confusing. Say usually when they want to build something, one single page also, HTML, they will make one different file, CSS, they'll make one different file, and JavaScript, they'll make one different file. Why? The reason is because this act as a main. This act as a main. If you integrate everything in one single page, it's confusing for anybody to track back if there is any error that is causing. So that is why HTML, the main body, is being inculcated with the links of CSS, again with the link of JavaScript. Anything it is not showing properly in colors, in fonts, in something, directly people will go to CSS and check that particular file related to this particular main program. If it is showing any problem in the programming manner, like for example, if you're putting your name in a form, it is not getting submitted, it is not getting login, so all these things they'll chuck in JavaScript, right? So that is why people will always make three different files for one single application to make it clear and precise. So the next one, you can hide HTML elements. So hiding HTML elements is nothing but, if say for example, if you are displaying a page, right? In that, the first thing is name. Okay, the second thing is some password, username or password. What you are doing here, if whenever this particular password is entered, do you get what the password is? Say for example, I'm writing my name Sneha, right? So here it will not show on the password, it will mask it this way. So at the client side only, right? When you're typing itself, it will mask your password. So who will do this kind of operation? That is done by JavaScript, right? So likewise, you can hide some things. You can also show elements which is necessary, right? Once you log in, say for example, it is the password is wrong. What it will show? It will show an error. You can hide the elements, you can show the elements, you can work with CSS using JavaScript, you can work with the HTML content also. These are the different things the JavaScript will do, and this is the introduction towards JavaScript. Hope this is clear. Let me quickly take some questions. Okay. C++ and Java are object oriented, but C++ cannot be run on other platform. Java can run on other platform because it is having JVM. So Sujit, what you want to tell in general, I didn't get it. So I'm talking about JavaScript, which is oriented towards front-end development, to be clear, right? I'm not talking about Java. Guys, Java is different, JavaScript is different, right? Okay. The next question. After learning everything about introduction towards JavaScript, why it is used and stuff, let's check out where to code, right? So where you have to code. You have different places in order to code, right? I told you you can put up in a HTML page itself, the main page itself. You can use the script tag and you can do it. If you want me to show you, so say for example, I'm just writing in order to make you people understand. So HTML, this is opening HTML tag, this is closing HTML tag. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Okay. So the next is body. Again, you have a close tag of body. Hope this is the skeleton of HTML. Everybody knows this, right? So the next one, you have head. Again, head is getting closed. Can anyone confirm, is this format correct? Is this format which I'm writing, HTML body head, is correct? I'm waiting for the answers. No. Okay. What is wrong? Can anyone tell me? What is wrong? People who are telling no, let me know what is wrong. Okay. Right. Fine. So this is the skeleton, say for example. Okay. Here you have different places in order to put up your code. I mean the script, the JavaScript. Anything you are trying to put up, you have to put inside this particular tag. This is exclusively for scripting, for JavaScript purpose. If you are putting that inside the main skeleton, main HTML body. Somebody told it's right. Okay. So guys, HTML first, head next, body next. I have just interchanged this, right? So where you can use this particular JavaScript. So here you can use anywhere in head or in the body of the HTML. Either you can include here or you can include somewhere here as well, but not on both the sides. You can have different coding in head, different coding in body if it is necessary, but don't repeat the same in head also, don't repeat the same code in the body also. Doesn't make sense, guys. It's waste of time. So you can put up as a script tag, you can put up inside HTML head or body, then you can use it as external, right? So you have this third option which is very much feasible rather than the upper two parts. Why? Anybody can tell why you have to put up your script externally? Quickly, just let me know, right? So when you link externally, say here in HTML, for example, you have to write this code, script src is equal to, you have to put up the link, say for example, demo.js, or the complete link where it is situated. If you are working in the local system, the complete link have to be put up, or you can just save all the related elements in one single folder. You need not put up the complete link, you can just put up the name of the file. So demo.js, .js is the, I mean to say, .js is the extension of any JavaScript file. How do you save is demo.js, sample.js, something related like that. So you put this and you will just close the tab, don't forget, and then you have to end the script. So this is how you call the element or the JavaScript which is not present inside the program, which is present the in external element. You have to call that particular page inside your HTML, right? So these are the three different code formats you can use inside the body of HTML, or like in head or in the body, and externally also you can use script tag. Script tag is very necessary in order to start coding, guys, right? So this is where the coding should be present of JavaScript in HTML. You can't put up on CSS. You should put anything you want to link in the main body itself. Okay, right, fine. Any other questions for me on this? Hope this is clear. The first thing is, I'll just reiterate the things. The first thing, why you have to learn JavaScript. Second, what is JavaScript and where it is used. Now, where do you code? Where do you put up your programming lines? Right? You have three places. You can use JavaScript, I mean script tag, and you can put that in HTML body or HTML head. Okay, else you can externally link with the help of script src tag like this, right? Yeah, I know the mistake is with the head tag, guys. I'll finish it off. HTML, that's why I asked you the question in order to check, right? This is how it goes. Body, again we'll end whatever we started. Sorry, yeah, this one. Sorry, this is head. Okay, HTML, head start, head will end, body will start, body will end, at the last HTML will end. So this is the basic skeleton I was trying to write. Okay, so let's quickly go into the next one. My question was, anybody could answer why we'll be most happy to use external JavaScript rather than putting JavaScript inside the code. Yeah, yes, Sujita, I'm explaining external JavaScript now again. You can just wait for a minute. I'm asking a question. Why external JavaScript we have to give more importance rather than scripting inside that particular element, HTML body or header? Any answers on the chat quickly? Okay, no, okay, it's very easy, guys. Anything you can keep it separate, no matter it's only JavaScript, it can be CSS also. So CSS or JavaScript refers, the uses are same whenever you put up externally, right? The first thing why you have to use this link and do it, I told you, in the header you have to use script src is equal to, src is nothing but source, okay, is equal to whatever the name you will give. For example, demo.js is the name, and you can close this particular script. Why do you use this? I've got answers, I think. It separates HTML and code. It makes HTML JavaScript easier to read and maintain. Okay. Okay, right. Right, the answers are right. Okay. The first thing is it will always separate HTML and code. So when you have a big application, if it is a simple application, okay, not a problem. We can track back and do the work. But if it is a larger application having 15, 20 pages inside that, web page inside that, which is having redirections, how do you track back if there is any problem, right? So it separates HTML and the code. If the HTML is different, the code is different, it's very easy for people to track back. That is the one point. The second point, easy to read, understand and maintain, right? So when it is separated, obviously the end result is it is easy to track back, easy to find the errors, easy to understand, easy to maintain, right? So these are the three things which it will help if you put up your external JavaScript outside the main particular program or the HTML code which you are writing. So the third one, rate of page load will be high. So page load in the sense, yeah, better readability also. Yeah, I'm just gradually checking the chat also to make it interactive. I should not speak alone, right? That's why. So rate of page load will be high. Rate of page load. What is this rate of page load? Page is nothing but web page, right? Say you are typing, searching something. Okay, you're searching something and it is taking 3 minutes to load. What you will do? There is 0% patience for people to wait for 2 minutes. Okay, actually now the rate of page load is in milliseconds, guys. If people don't get it in seconds, people will go bonkers. They'll say, okay, let me refresh, let me go to the some other search engine, let me try somewhere else, let me go switch to Explorer, let me switch to Mozilla Firefox, we can just let's go to Google. So we'll be doing this kinds of impatient work, right? So in this particular thing, JavaScript will help if you put up externally. It will make the page load rate high. Okay, hope that's clear. So all these three things will always help the help. So all these three things will be helpful in order to just put up your JavaScript. If you put that in externally, it will help you to maintain these things. Separation between the code and the HTML, and easy to read and understand, and rate of page load. Hope that's clear, right? Rapid link execution. Okay. Why page load will be high? Rate of page load should be high, guys. Why? In the sense, that's what I was explaining you. Will you sit 2 minutes in order to search something? No way. You will immediately go to the next tab, or you will try to refresh. So quickly you have to get whatever you are trying to get from the website, right? So if you keep JavaScript externally, it will always provide you the good rate of load. Okay, hope that's clear. Let me quickly see on the chat now. HTML and JS file are two different files, so it will take much time than all in one file. Oh, right, right, Jamie. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So if you keep the file separate, it will not take much time to load. That's it. Hope this is clear. Why we have to use external script. So let's quickly take a break now. I'm just taking a minute break because talking since half an hour. So within that, let's not be idle. Let's go off topic for a minute or two. Just guess an English word out of this particular clue which I've given here. This particular clue. Just try to get an English word. Let's take a break. Yeah, I'm giving example with coding. I'm going in after this break, guys. Don't worry. Yeah. Any answers or for this particular break? Can quickly do it. It is a English word. You have to make a sentence actually. I mean to say. Excuse me. Try to form a sentence. I know it is turn, guys. I know. I'm not asking you missing letter. Not asking you LKG question. I'm not asking you missing letters. I want a sentence out of this particular element which I've given there. English sentence. Off topic. Not talking about JavaScript. It is a puzzle, guys. I can tell you. Webber, I'm teaching JavaScript. I've just taken a minute break, that's all. Okay, I got no answers, so let's quickly check out. So here I'll tell you it's very simple. You have to form an English sentence here. It is just a break puzzle, that's all. I'm just resuming immediately now. So I'll answer you this. Now I got no answers from anybody. Okay, I'm sorry to say that. It's very simple. The English word is, what letter is missing? The U is missing. What is the symbol of the traffic? Have you seen the symbol of the traffic? Right? It's called no U-turn. U is not there. So we frame an English word, no U-turn. Okay, fine then. Let's quickly start up. I didn't get any answers. Sorry. I can't call out anybody's name. So the answer is no U-turn. So let's quickly start. The next thing, how to display output. The next question, how do you display the output of JavaScript? Okay. How do you display? The first thing, there are four different modes. I'll show you what are the different modes you have, right? The first one is using inner HTML. The second one is using document.write method, using window alert, and using console log. So let's quickly check each and every element. How does that work with a simple code which I've written here, right? Okay. If you could see, only script part you can concentrate, guys. Here, the first output method you can put up by using inner HTML. What is this inner HTML method? Inner HTML will always deal with the HTML content. Okay, ID is the HTML element which we are using. I'll explain this code. Okay, don't worry. So method we use is document dot get element by ID. We have different kinds of method. In that we are using this particular method here. By using HTML, inner HTML, we'll be using this method. So these are the meanings of it. So the first thing, all you all know, we'll write doctype.html in order to, it will just act as a library header. It will act as an header. So next you have HTML tag, next is body, then you have some heading, that is h1. It is, you have h1, h2, h3. I'm using h1. So you have one ID. The ID name is demo, say for example. So inside script, what you are writing, document dot get element by ID. So what is the ID of the element? Demo. This is the demo. And dot inner HTML is equal to 2 minus 1. What it has to show in this, I'll execute this program and show, right? What it will show here is, it will show the answer as 1, 2 minus 1. How? Let's see in the session now, like hands-on session. The same thing, I'm just trying to type it along. Okay, so let me quickly switch back. I'll be switching. I'm using online, what do you say, IDE here. You can also use different element, different IDE, like brackets. You can use um, mm, normal notepad. You can use normal Google Chrome in order to execute the basic HTML and CSS, right? Okay, so what it was telling is, you have to put up that method called document, and you have to put up the value 2 minus 1. The answer will be 1. So I'm just going back to it and letting you know, this particular statement, document dot get element by id dot demo, this particular element should be put up here. So I'm using one more element in the hands-on session. Let me quickly finish it off and go back once for all. We'll close it. So the next one which you are using is, you're using document.write. That is what it was present there. So document.write, what it will do, again it will do the same procedure itself, but here it is adding, the answer should be 6, but it is using different method. These are the different methods. How do you put up the output? But caution you have to check here is, while you're using document.write, what will happen, if you put up after the data, after the paragraphs, after the sentences, it will erase everything, right? I'll quickly show you how does that happen. If you just put up only this, it will show the answer, but it will not remove this. If you use this particular document dot write after this particular sentence, it will always erase those sentences. Let me quickly give you the demo of it. So what is happening here, we are clicking, we are making a button, say we am just putting good evening, how are you, just for a demo purpose. We are making a button. In that button you are having one operation to be performed, that is 5 plus 6. So when you run this particular code, it will show you everything like good evening, how are you. If you press on this button, it will erase that good evening and how are you. It will not give you the um, sentences as well. Good evening, how are you, then the answer is 11. It will not give, it will remove it off. So we should always use separately. We should not let this particular document dot write on any operations like button or any list or anything, right? Let me quickly erase this. I'll show you. Just put up this, right? If you run, what it will show, it will show good evening, how are you, and the element which you have to display, right? So let me quickly go back. So you'll write inside the script document dot write. So if you make this as a script now, what it will do, it will take it as a script itself. It will not give you, it will not erase that particular elements which you already have. So if you run, you will get, you can see the difference. It is not erasing the previous elements, it is just displaying the answer. So this is the basic difference why you should not include document dot write inside a button or inside a list or inside any element which you are writing inside the HTML, right? So let's quickly check the next one. So after document dot write, what do you have? The next thing, you have one particular easy thing, window dot alert. So again, nothing is changing. If you could notice, only the script element is changing here. So you are doing window dot alert 100 plus 2. 100 plus 2 should give you 102, right? These are the simple scripting programming which I'm doing. So window dot alert 100 plus 2. Let's quickly check out. So what I'm doing here, just change it. That's it. Window dot alert 100 plus 2. You close it. So what it will do, see, it is giving you on the window, it is giving with separate one particular window. It is showing the answer is 102. It is not showing somewhere here in the console like others. It is showing in separate place. So that is the use of window dot alert, right? So next, how do you do for console.log? So again, what is console.log? Here, one thing I'll show you. Okay, people will not use this generally, but there is certain steps you have to follow in order to execute this method. How do you do? Is you have to put up in the script console.log. That's it, no change. Just put up console.log 3 plus 8 and check out for the steps which will teach you now. Quickly, let me go to this, right? So console.log, I'll put OK here. Okay, fine. So I'm making this as console.log. Console.log. So what it will do, it has to show you some operation I'll perform. Okay. So what you have to do here, it will generally not give you any input, right? It will, the next step which you have to do is F12. Click, well, I mean press F12 in your screen, right, in your keyboard. Then here you find the console, right? If this is the console, if you see, the answer is 10. 3 plus 7 is 10. This is one of the method people will generally not use. It is just a method I'm just trying to show you. Nobody will go press F12 and see the output. So this is one of the method, that's it guys. So these are the different methods you have in JavaScript in order to display the outputs only. Okay. So hope these four elements are clear for you. Yeah, like a message box, right? Okay. Okay. Today, now I'm just giving you a pure JavaScript how it will look. Okay. If you try to code like C or Python or something, if you are trying for JavaScript, how it will look. Let me know in the chat what is this program all about. Quickly, let me know what is this all about. Very well known, simple startup program actually. Anybody who try to learn anything, you will start with these kinds of programs. Till now, I was working with HTML, all the tags and stuff for JavaScript. But here, this is a pure JavaScript program. This is how it looks, just for your reference. Yeah, somebody read out. Thank you. Somebody read my program, so they got. Jamie told the answer. It is factorial, right? So we will be learning factorial program in every programming language, nothing special. It is a startup programming language. What is factorial? Say factorial of 3, 3 into 2 into 1. The factorial of 3 is 6, right? So this is the factorial, right? Okay, fine then. Hope people know what is factorial. Can anyone tell me factorial of 5? 5 factorial is equal to what? Answer guys, 5 factorial is equal to what? Yeah, 120, right. So nothing, factorial is nothing but we are multiplying that with the, this should be the answer guys, right? People know what is factorial. So this is how the pure JavaScript will look like. Let's quickly, I'll just finish with this particular last topic of this session. So first we are giving a number, right? It is a constant, it is not a variable, so I'm putting constant. One variable has been declared, I mean the one constant is declared, that is called number. And we are passing in the sense we are prompting the user via dialog box stating enter a positive integer. What do you enter? For example, I'll enter 5. When that 5 is entered, it will go, I'll execute this program at the end, but just I'm explaining this. 5 is lesser than 0, right? We have to check if people have given anything like -1, -20, some minus values. We are checking whether this particular number given by the user is negative or positive first. Okay. Now, if it is not negative, if this is positive guys, 5 is positive, so it will not throw up error, it will go. Say for example this was -5, immediately it will show error has occurred, factorial for negative number does not exist, right? For negative number, we cannot do factorial. So put a positive number. So once this is passed, 5 is equal to 0. It will check any number. If they have given 0, input has been given as 0. No. 0, this is not right. It is greater than 0. It is not equal to 0. If it is 0, you can't put factorial. For what you will calculate factorial, right? So the next, it will go to this part. So as I told you, Just like normal programming language, we have if, we have if else, we have else. We can write different kinds of operations here. So we can put up the loop here, for loop. It has also for, you can use that. And just initialization is same. One variable I is equal to 1, then I is greater than equals to number, whatever the number which is being given, I plus plus. It will be checking, the iteration will go on, and it will give you the final answer. If you could see, only thing it differs is there might be printf, there might be scanf, there might be cout, there might be cin. I'm giving you examples of C++. Here it is console log. As I told you, as I showed you right now, console log, it will show on the console screen the output as 20 if the input is given 5, right? So this is the example of pure JavaScript, and this is how the JavaScript program without HTML or CSS will look like. It is a normal programming language also. The thing differs is the syntaxes, right? So today I gave you an overview. I gave you a simple examples of what kind of output you can give. You can first we got to know what is JavaScript and we got its uses. Then at the last we are finishing with a pure JavaScript demo. This is how this particular elements will look like. So you can go to Great Learning Academy, just enroll yourself for the basic courses and get to know more about the courses of JavaScript, HTML, numerous of domains you have. Wherever you are interested, you can quickly register yourself and complete the program, and at the end you will get the certificate. After you watch the videos, put up the quiz, after you qualify with a good quiz marks, you will get the certificate. So you can go to the link which is shared in the chat now. So or prior also it has been shared, you can go to the academy, right? Fine then. We had a lot of Q&A in the middle, but still, if there is any Q&A, let me know. So the same program I'm trying to execute. This particular console is very easy, guys, because you have HTML separate, JS separate, and you have CSS separate, JavaScript separate. So the same program I'm trying to execute here. If you enter any negative number, if you could see, it will show up an error. You can go to console here. It will show up an error. It is still building. It will not take up anything. It will show an error. If you could go to console also, you can just do it this way. You could say there is an error, it will say. Again, if you put any positive number, okay, hold on a second, I'm clearing the console. You can run the code here on the JavaScript. Can we have the slides that you have presented in your presentation? Okay, it's not accessible, you have to attend the session, guide. Sorry, it's very simple, it's not that complicated slide, hopefully. Waiting for questions. That's not executed properly. So if you could just put up that particular code there as I've told you, so you can get that prompts. As I was executing both, it was not visible. Yes, yes. I'll try to end the session now. I'm just waiting for 2 to 3 minutes. I will end the session. Okay. I got one question. Is there any difference between JavaScript and Python? Right? To answer that, there is lots of difference. So anything you want to learn towards front-end development only, you can go with JavaScript. Anything you want to be a full stack developer, for example, you can go for backend as well as front-end, you can go for Python. It's left to you. Yeah, learning Python is very easy. Yes, Karthik, learning Python is very easy. It's English like statements. But if you purely concentrate on front end, you have to learn JavaScript, without which it will not work. The dynamic web pages will not work. When to use document.write dot inner HTML. Whenever you want to put up the answer inside the code only, you can use document.write inside the HTML body, not the code, inside the HTML body, right? Okay, guys. Fine then, let me quickly wind up the session now, right? It's been already an hour more. It's been exceeding 60 minutes. So let me quickly stop the session. Hope I'll see you guys in the next live sessions we conduct. We have series of live sessions and Great Learning hosting, right? You can just attend the sessions, and if you want any courses you want to have good knowledge, please enroll. Go to Great Learning Academy and enroll yourself and learn more. So let's keep learning. And thank you for all the audience. And this is Sneha signing off.